What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is
amazing.
And it comes on finals night, and it's a knockout push.
Dirty Harrison! Van Velzen!
And it's another 12-darter.
Second leg.
just obscured the single a little bit, and you'd been panicking. Hold on a minute.
Game shot.
You may be panicking now.
Beautiful bang on cue.
Danny Van Trijp.
What a two-darter, this doesn't go. Another one of them. Oh, he's had the 112. He's going to add the 150 to the mix. Yes, he is. Hello, welcome along. Thursday nights are made for darts, isn't it? If only somebody thought of that concept before. Welcome along to the MODUS Super Series. It's our second session of the day, and we have the reigning Lakeside champion, Shane McGuirk, as the headline name in action. Always a headline name in the commentary box. Primetime darts in the company of Matthew Edgar himself. This afternoon, Group C got underway. We were looking forward to the debut of Henry Coates, and it's fair to say it delivered.
Oh, Henry certainly delivered, didn't he? He played really, really well. Just lost the one game, picking up 4 from 5. So consistent throughout the day. So consistent at a high level and a high performer. The way that everyone sort of beat everyone in that group so far, Henry's put himself in a very good position overnight, where he probably only needs 3 wins tomorrow, and that will put him into Saturday night the first time I've asked him.
So, Henry Coates, top of the table. He has a 2-point buffer at the top of the table. This is how it looks going into Friday's action. Justin Smith, Mason Whitlock and Alton McDyer, well, they can't be separated. 6 points, both +2. And in Mason Whitlock and Alton McDyer's case, they actually go down to their personal head-to-head for the day to decide who goes in what direction. So that is Group C. That's the first session we've seen today. Tonight is all about Group B. This is the tournament bracket if you have just joined us for the first time this week. Richie Howson won Group A on Wednesday afternoon. Group C was what we watched this afternoon. And then Group B is the action that we're going to be watching tonight. Shane McGuirk is going to be the headline name in action. Danny Van Trijp is going to drop down from Group A into this group, as too is Brandon Weening. Kelvin O'Keefe and John O'Shea are also in the mix. Look, we'll talk about Shane in a bit more detail in just a second. But I want to talk first about Danny Van Trijp. Now, he was the closest player to Richie Howson. Admittedly, there was an 8-point gap, but he had 20 points in Group A, which most weeks is actually a winning total for that particular group. What would be your assessment on the way that he played earlier on in the week? Is there anything he has to change to get success, or do you feel like if he carries on the way he's going, he should be okay?
Yeah, more of the same will be enough for Danny Van Trijp to put himself through to Saturday night, and that's what his key motivation will be. Get through to Saturday on his first time here on this stage. He's played well, he's played consistently. A few missed doubles at times have really affected him, but there's 2 players in this field tonight who's got a little bit of quality that other players haven't got in this group. That is Danny Van Trijp's one of them, and John O'Shea would be the other. Those are 2 players that have had PDC tour cards. Now, I think that's a very important thing to look at, because they've had them quite recently. You don't get them on cereal boxes, you don't win them in raffles. You know, to get a tour card, you've had to have won on the Challenge Tour or through Q School. And when we look at the players that are involved here at the Super Series, they're all trying to get those cards. So those players that have achieved them have achieved in that arena to the highest degree. So I do think they're 2 to keep an eye on.
In terms of Shane McGuirk, the dynamic for him this year has changed so dramatically. To the point where the media commitments that he's doing now, he spent some time with us before the session got underway. Everything has changed for him. He was a player that we knew was a fantastic player, maybe went under the radar a little bit. But now because of what he did at the Lakeside, everyone is going to have their eye on him, aren't they?
Well, I think the thing is, yes, he was a fantastic player and is a fantastic player. but there's so many fantastic players. So there'll always be someone that, to quote unquote, goes under the radar. There will always be that scenario because there are that many good players. And if that's the thing you're sort of basing it on, like who is a fantastic player, we can sit here and reel off 20, 30 players who are that. Now, that title defines him. That title gives him his title. It gives him his moment. And because of that now, essentially, he's got a bit of a bullseye on his back as well. Something he didn't handle too well, if we was being honest, at Q School. Didn't get through. Did the Challenge Tour. So it hasn't started well for him in regards to results. This is an opportunity now to get back in front of the cameras and do something different.
Is it something he can grow into?
Oh, he's going to have to. It probably hasn't really probably settled in as such at the moment. He probably doesn't believe it. He probably doesn't feel like he belongs right now. We've seen people win a week here. And when they come back, they go, I need to win it again. I've got to win it again to prove it wasn't a one-off. He will be in that mode right now because he doesn't have a lot of titles. He hasn't got a lot of mileage. He doesn't have a lot of years on the tour. So the danger for Shane McGuirk now is he feels he needs to back that up because he knows that as much as there's been a lot of support for him, there's a lot of people out there that want to scrutinise it and almost put him down because he's won what is the WDF World Championship. And he'll almost feel like he's got a point to prove. And if you've got a point to prove, what a stage to do it on.
Well, the bookmakers are backing Shane McGuirk. These are the outrights for this group. 11-10, he goes off favourite. Danny Van Trijp and John O'Shea, both 10-3, second favourite. What's your thoughts in terms of the odd? A, is McGuirk the rightful favourite? And what do you make of the 10-3 of that pair?
I think it's about right, really, that. I think if you fancy any of those players, you think you've got value there. Because I think that's probably priced pretty much spot on. We know John O'Shea and Danny Van Trijp got that tour card experience and Pro Tour in recent times. John O'Shea winning the World Masters on the WF side as well. So has got some good form. Shane McGuirk, favourite, yeah, a little short probably. But if we get the Shane McGuirk that was at Lakeside, that's a bang-on price. He'll do well. 18 plus, gambleaware.org if you're going to have a flutter on the Super Series tonight. Right, our first game sees Kelvin O'Keefe. He's another player that really has burst onto the scene, hasn't he, in recent times. Had a very good Q score. Was quite close, actually, to getting his tour card as well there. So he makes his Super Series bow, the latest first for him in 2025. And he takes on Brandon Weening, who finished third in Group A on Wednesday afternoon. Now, for Kelvin, as we mentioned, he's burst onto the scene for his performances at Q School, something that he says he's put off for a few years. I was in conversation with him earlier.
I've been holding off to go to Q School for the last 4 or 5 years, but I needed to go, because I'm 40 years old now. I just wanted to see where I'm at. And unless you're going to these big Q School events and with a challenge show as well, you'll never know until you enter. Just see where you are. Mm-hmm. It's a big challenge, and I took it on board, and
In terms of this week and in terms of the Super Series, have you set any goals or expectations, or are you just going to try and enjoy the experience?
I'm just going to enjoy it this year. It's a massive leap for me. This year has just gone from the floor, literally straight through the roof. Getting so far with the Sunday, qualify for the challenge tours as well. My calendar is going to be a little bit fuller than expected. So,
we wish you all the very best. Good luck.
Thank you, Beth. Cheers.
And Kelvin's first opponent on this Thursday night is Brandon Weening, who we saw finish third in Group A on Wednesday afternoon. Kelvin, well, he has the nickname Casio. Now, there is a famous calculator out there, and because we're under the auspices of television, we must remind you that there's other calculator brands out there. But it's partly because counting is something which he's trying to develop in his game. And even though he had a very good Q score, I feel like we're going to learn a lot about his game during his couple of days with us. He's age 40 from Llanelli in Wales, throwing the 23-gram target Envy Dart on his debut here at the Super Series. Up against Brandon Weening, the 26-year-old from Geelong in Australia. The Python on debut in this competition. Another player who came desperately close to picking up his tour card at Q School back in January. Oh, the action's going to be refereed tonight in the impeccable company of Jack Garwood. He's officiated
First
every
leg,
single
it's
match this
Kelvin to
week.
the
He
road
will
first.
continue that trend this evening.
Game on.
It's Kelvin O'Keefe, the man from Llanelli in Wales, that will throw the first darts of the evening. This game 1 of 10 that we're going to be broadcasting live to you on Pluto TV across the United Kingdom and around the world
85.
in associated territories. And if you're not watching there, a very good evening to all of our viewers joining us on the Super Series Facebook page. We've got 10 intriguing, delightful matches
60.
for you, and we're going to be watching it all in the company of the 2-time WDF ranking event winner, 4-time World Championship participant, primetime Matthew Edgar is alongside us this evening to cast his eye over all the action.
41.
Yeah, looking forward to this. I like these sort of stories, what we get in here with Kelvin O'Keefe, who has been around for a while in regards to the amount of mileage he's got in the sport, but very new to this sort of
59.
level of darts. He was very, very close to picking up a PDC tour card, wasn't he? Just a game away. He lost out by 6 legs to 4 to Jim Long, which makes this quite an ironic game for me, because Kelvin O'Keefe was
43.
2 legs away from a tour card. Brandon Weening missed out by 1 place. He got the right amount of points, but he was 4 legs short. This match was 6 legs away
100.
from being one that we may have saw earlier on in the week when the PDC Pro Tour was underway.
Well, it's our pleasure to host these 2 players this evening. For
100.
Kelvin, a first time under the microscope and the scrutiny of the televised cameras. Brandon, of course, played at the Lakeside World Championship back in December. His campaign was thwarted by Shane McGuirk, and
59.
I'm sure that he was pleased to see him in the practice room as an adversary. In fact, the pair actually spent a fair bit of time practicing alongside one another this evening.
Well, Brandon Weening had plenty of time to do that, didn't he?
41.
He was very, very early to the venue today. He was actually, as the lights went down for the end of our Group C campaign, Brandon Weening walked straight on the stage to start practicing.
Well, we came out of our gantry this afternoon, and as I came back down the steps into the reception area, Brandon was just getting ready, coming in the building, taking his coat off. That was how prepared he is. I don't think I've ever known a player arrive so early to practice for a session here before.
4 hours.
45. Brandon, you require 144.
Well, Weening first to finish here in this first leg, looking at 144. Keith hasn't made inroads on throw. Weening's had a few big uns this week. The 150 being
101.
his highlight
Kelvin,
checkout.
you require 146.
Is O'Keefe going to mark his arrival on the Super Series stage or 146? Not on this occasion, and so Weening will come back for the 43 to take the opening leg against throw.
90. Brandon, you require
It's a
43.
nervy, edgy start, isn't it, for Kelvin O'Keefe?
Game shot, the first leg.
Brandon Weening
Weening.
takes the opening leg against the darts. Wasn't a classic leg from the Australian's perspective, but he will take what's
Second
on the
leg,
board
it's Brandon
nonetheless.
to throw first. Game on. $140.
That'll grow confidence as well for Brandon Weening, not seeing Kelvin O'Keefe hit too much in regards to the starting of this game. It might not last too long. Only takes a little spark, a little moment just to make you feel settled and back at home again.
$46.
I was just about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few
40.
bounce outs from Kelvin today, because he does have an awful lot of wrist in that action, and if the arm and the wrist are not fully in sync, then he's going to have quite a lot that are just going to clatter into the board sort of face up, which is why he gets this really aggressive angle.
170.
It's really aggressive upright stance on the board.
Well, the first 170 of the evening is a scoring turn from Brandon, and it sets himself up on 145. 6 darts from this point to open up a 2-0 lead. Got the break throw in the opener, and now looking to back it up here. Not to be, but he does have a couple of bites.
65.
See, these aren't ideal darts, these for Kelvin O'Keefe. You can tell that
Brandon, you
already.
require
Very aggressive
80.
upright angle. He needs the darts above the treble. Brandon needs darts to be straight, but he's recovered the situation, and oh, has he recovered the situation? No panic whatsoever there for Brandon Weening after pulling that one into the one.
Third leg, it's Kelvin to throw first.
And that
Game
may
on.
just be the confidence he's got from already playing 15 games on that stage this week.
And that's on top of everything else that he's done in the 4 months that he's been here in the United Kingdom. Lakeside, Q School, Challenge Tour, this.
45.
He's certainly made the most of his winter in the United Kingdom. And guess what? He'll leave here on Sunday afternoon, head back to Australia on a 24-hour flight, and then he'll have to get ready for another winter back home.
80.
And the second Australian player that we've had here in the space of 2 weeks. We saw Jeremy Fagg
140.
in action in week 3. He didn't make it through to the Saturday night final. Brandon looking to go in areas his compatriot couldn't. And there's another bounce out from Kelvin, which, because of the way his darts stand up and the way they go into the board, I feel like it's going to be a bit of a commonplace. But one thing he does have is the most common accessory that a dart player has these days. The shoes.
134.
I feel like now every single player has that pair of shoes, or many players now have that particular brand of shoes.
Right, I was going to say, every player wears shoes, don't they? Like,
58.
I didn't know where you was going with that.
Trust me, Matt, it's been a long week.
42.
There they are.
Yep, definitely shoes.
A trend that was started by Luke Littler, and now everybody wears them.
140. Brandon, you require 140.
Another one of them. Would have left double 10. O'Keefe
100. Kelvin, you require
back for 85 to halve the gap in this match. $20 and bull. Bullseye. Not to be. And so
36.
Weening comes back
Brandon,
for
you
double
require
top to
40.
open up a 3-love lead in this match, to get the double break and to put himself in absolute cruise control. Double 10. Up for 5s.
35.
Dips below. Kelvin
Brandon, you
O'Keefe has had
require
1 poke
49.
at the bullseye. That's all he's had in this match. He's now going to have a dart at the outer ring. And he
Gets
finds
on the
double
third
16.
leg, Kelvin
A
O'Keefe.
smirk on the face as he gets his first leg on the board at the live lounge. And perhaps a lifeline for the
Fourth
Welshman.
leg, it's Brandon to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, you feel Brandon Weening's done this a few times, hasn't he? He's got himself into a position where he's got 3 darts in the hand to be a bit of a shoo-in for the game, and it's just not quite
100.
worked out for him, missing opportunities.
$59.
It's interesting that when these things happen, he just takes that little bit of pace out the game. Just likes the control, likes
92.
to command the stage.
He's very streetwise, isn't he, Brandon Weening? He can read a situation and read it well.
Maybe he likes a bit of poker.
25.
Brandon's been spending the last few months staying with Simon Whitlock, who's pretty much running an Airbnb for players playing this week.
49.
Brandon's there, Mason's there.
$81.
What would be a successful week, do you think, for Brandon? Is it getting through to Saturday?
Oh, that's expected, yeah. That would be his expectation. He'll be disappointed if he doesn't. I think if you come here with any sort of aspirations and
60.
goals of being successful within the sport and you get a Group A, so you've got a full week, you expect to be in the final 6.
30.
Now, like what's happening here, Kelvin O'Keefe just coming in and out of form a little bit here on his debut. Does look like he's feeling the nerves a little bit.
100.
We've seen players hit the stage running. We've seen players take time to really get into their stride.
Well, Kevin O'Keefe needs to iron out something here, and that is perhaps
26.
some
Brandon, you
mathematical
require 100.
equations. I suppose that's why he's nicknamed Casio. Anyway, Weening looking at the ton. Tops. Oh, wonderfully
Shot of full
executed.
flag, Brandon Weening.
And Brandon Weening puts himself into a 3-1 lead and has control of this game once
Fifth
again. He has a
flag, it's
two-leg
Kelvin to the
buffer
road
once
first.
again.
Game on. $140.
That's good going there from Kelvin O'Keefe. He's literally just had 15 darts and scored 221
58.
points.
$97.
Nearly done as many points. In fact, has done more in the first 6 darts here.
$134. $30.
But that is the miss that's coming in, isn't it? It's that left, just straying off the 20 line. That's something he's going to want to put right as the night goes on, because when you throw in straight darts, you're missing high and low, that's okay. You can accept that. It's when you start
59.
missing left and right, you start to panic.
Oh, he's got 6 darts here to bring it back to 3-2, and he'll force Weening to serve it out.
80.
Inviting.
100. Kelvin, you require 154. $54. Brandon, you require 150.
This for the match.
It's been taken once this week, but not twice.
58. Kelvin, you require
O'Keefe.
100.
Back for the ton to bring it back to 3-2. Tops. Well, Brandon Weening found it a couple of legs ago, and now Kelvin O'Keefe has joined the Ton Club. He brings this game back to 3-2, and he's forced the Australian
to the row first.
to serve
on.
it out.
$55. $81. 100. $26. $46.
Important moments these for Brandon Weening. If he does lose this leg, Kelvin O'Keefe will be serving it out for the win.
$44.
Well, this is how quickly a game in this format can change, and we've spoken about jeopardy, haven't we, so many times this week because of the amount of 2-0 leads that have been slipped in games. But Brandon Weening is looking to take control of the
140.
situation. He's left himself first to a finish. He got the break he needed right from the get-go, and ever since he has maintained that element
24.
of control
Brandon,
in
you
this
require
contest,
106.
he's left himself on 160 for the match and to seal a 4-2 win in this encounter.
Yeah, Kelvin really struggled to land a blow on the Brandon Weening darts. He's got plenty of time. The only thing Kelvin can do here is hit a maximum and hope.
54.
Anything less than a maximum, and Brandon Weening's got another 6. Maximum
59.
not
Brandon,
achieved.
you
So
require
6 darts once
106.
again for Brandon Weening to get the first 2 points of our Group B campaign.
And he's going to get a match dart. And that opportunity is here now for Brandon Weening to win the match on double 16. And he
Shot
takes
and
it,
the
and he
match,
takes it
Brandon
brilliantly.
Weening.
2 ton plus checkouts of Brandon Weening en route to a 4-2 success against Kelvin O'Keefe. Some match that. Brandon, a 4-2 winner in a game with 3 ton plus checkouts. John O'Shea takes on Danny Van Trijp after the break. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler! Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Brandon Weening took out Kelvin O'Keefe by 4 lengths to 2 before the break. Now, Danny Van Trijp and John O'Shea go toe-to-toe on the Super Series stage in match 2 of the night here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. These two have spent time together on the Pro Tour in recent times, recently dropped off tour, the pair. This is John O'Shea's second year here since dropping off tour. Danny Van Trijp's first appearance since dropping off at the end of December. And what is there that we don't know about John O'Shea from Cork? The Joker, 49 years of age, former World Masters champion, taking on Danny Van Trijp from Etten-Leur, just on the outskirts of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Huge Feyenoord fan. He was more than pleased with their side's results against AC Milan last night in the Champions League. He was actually saying he felt he missed being there because he's usually at the De Kuip Stadium for their home matches in that particular competition. But it is Portsmouth where he finds himself tonight. And Portsmouth was a place where John O'Shea was on Tuesday evening. He was at Fratton Park on Tuesday night to watch Portsmouth take on Cardiff City. I'm sure that was a great sporting night for him. But what is tonight going to sport for the Joker from Cork in the Republic of Ireland? We are about to find out.
Well, at the start of the show, we alluded to the fact that these two have got something on their CV that the rest of the field don't. They have been PDC Tour Card holders and in very recent times as well. So there is some quality on that stage between the pair, and we expect that they're going to bring that out of each other as well.
80. $60. 45. 137.
O'Shea's left himself on 146 to take out the opening leg on throw.
John, you
And
require
Trijp
146.
keeping close company, but O'Shea 146 to take this opening leg out. Not going to be done on this particular occasion.
41. Danny, you require 155.
So Van Trijp 155 for the break and a 1-0 lead. Not to be, and so the Joker will have the first half chance
97
of
John,
this
you
first
require
leg.
105.
Just needs the one treble to get a poke at the outer ring. Can't find an early bit
39.
of seesawing of
Danny,
opportunity.
you require 58.
Double top for the break of
Extra on the
throw.
first
Danny Van
leg.
Trijp
Danny Van Trijp.
finds himself one up. He had to stave off the better scoring for the most part of John O'Shea,
Second leg, it's Danny
but it
to
is
throw
the
first.
Dutchman who takes the
Game
opener
on.
cleanly. The kill of 58 puts him in front.
Well, he did start his
100.
campaign in Group A very well, didn't he? Danny Van Trijp kicked off on Monday with 100 average. And we thought, here we go. He's going to produce the goods
43.
here. Didn't quite materialise, though, for Danny Van Trijp, despite the fact on day one he only lost one of the legs that he could possibly have won. He won 19 legs out of the potential 20.
100.
It was that hat-trick of defeats, wasn't it, in the middle part there, the end of Monday, the start of Tuesday, that really did cost him.
60.
Well,
81.
Van Trijp here is really beginning to hit his straps. Decent leg here. He's left himself on 130 after 9. He got the
Danny
break in leg
require
1, and he's now
130.
really looking to hammer home that particular advantage. Doesn't have to go triple 20 ball because O'Shea is all the way back up
65.
262. He's going to leave himself on 65 after just a dozen darts to double up his advantage against the Joker.
56. Danny, you require 65.
Tops. Now double 10.
45.
Has got time.
$136. Danny, you require 20.
2 10s for 2 zip. John O'Shea is lurking in the background
10.
if that double 5 doesn't
John,
go
you
and it
require
don't.
70.
Well, this would be a steal. He's been a long way off in this leg, but he has an opportunity to level up,
38.
and that opportunity
Danny, you
hasn't been
require
seized
10.
upon.
To double his lead.
Game shot on the second leg. Danny Van
Double
Trijp.
5 comes to the rescue there for Danny Van Trijp. Because the missed doubles are starting to add up, and then that sets in
Third
panic when
leg,
you're doing
it's
that in
John
your
to the
opening
right
game.
first. Game on.
The one thing you want to do is not have doubts start lingering in the early stages.
58.
This is not the John O'Shea that we've had here before at the Super Series, is it? This is a very slow start for John tonight.
140.
And you may get punished quite early here. Coming up against Danny Van Trijp, who joins us after losing his tour card at the back end of 2024.
Well, he has been in Portsmouth for a few days. He was here on Tuesday.
123.
So he's had a good couple of days to acclimatise to the
95.
environment here in Portsmouth.
Yeah, he didn't want that jet lag, did he, Henry?
Well, but it is an interesting one because Shane McGuirk, who we're going to see next, flew in this morning on the first flight from Dublin to Southampton. And obviously he's from the same
140.
part of the world as John. But John's decided to stay for the couple of days. Is kind of the point I'm trying to make.
108.
But John O'Shea's making his point here. And what he's saying to Danny Van Trijp in this
98.
amazing leg is he's going to have to take out the 98 here. Treble 18 leaves double 12. Not to be. So O'Shea comes back for double 14 to reduce the gap back down to 2-1.
42. John, you require 28.
Off the flight and
shot
in,
of
and
third
O'Shea
leg,
has
John
a route back
O'Shea.
into this match. 2-1.
Yeah, I'd have felt like relief that getting it last start in hand because
Fourth
Danny Van
leg,
Trijp
it's
was
Danny
ready
to
to
the right
pounce and
first.
was looking
Game
good
on.
there for a second breaker throw. John O'Shea showing his quality.
100. $58. $96. $97.
Starting to get a bit of success on the switching now, John O'Shea. That can start leading to a bit of mind
58.
tricks, though, because then you start switching earlier because you're thinking, I'm not getting much success here. This is better.
100. $125.
Brave.
$100. Danny, you require 122.
Danny's looking at 1-2-2 to open up a 3-1 lead. Treble 18 would have left him a dart at the bullseye.
54.
He's going to come
John,
back
you
to
require
68. If O'Shea
146.
cannot find the 146. We've already had 3 ton plus checkouts tonight. Brandon Weening had a couple in his win over
100.
Kelvin
Danny, you
O'Keefe
require
himself found the
68.
ton. Triple 12. Needs double 16.
Gauge on the
3-1
fourth
Danny
leg,
Van
Danny
Trijp.
Van
And are we
Trijp.
seeing a similar pattern here to the one that we saw in the opening match of the night?
Fifth leg,
Brandon
it's
Weening
John to throw
opened up an
first.
early 2-0 lead,
Game
opened
on.
up an advantage in the match, and he never relinquished it from that point. And Danny Van Trijp will be hoping that a similar pattern is
50
going to
serve.
emerge here.
$100. $108.
All very, very tightly packed there that you could have got them in the middle of a very famous mint.
100. $58. $57.
Time on side here for a shaper. Van Trijp won't be overly perturbed because he knows that he's got the insurance policy of
40.
serving the match on the next leg. Now, John O'Shea there, 206, single one first up, went down for the 19 to the last. It's left himself on a
96.
bogey number, and it's given Van Trijp a match-winning opportunity here on 148.
98. Danny, you require 148.
Another. Not to be. So O'Shea's got an opportunity to
140.
win this leg with the 68.
Johnny
and
requires 68.
be a case of all's well but ends well. 2 in hand, a double 4. Thought it was in. Stand back, John.
Well, this has to be in, or it might be going for a walk down the stairs.
64. Danny, you
Well,
require
Danny Van Trijp
8.
to give O'Shea that trip down the stairs. Is looking at double 4.
No score.
But O'Shea's got
Johnny
an opportunity to
require
keep
4.
himself on that stage just a little bit longer. For all the scoring that Danny's done in this game, 3 from 12 is his doubles ratio. And he's
Gets on
being
the
kept
fifth
in the
leg, John
contest by the
O'Shea.
Joker. He's been forced to serve it out, is Van Trijp. Back to 3-2.
Sixth leg, it's Danny to throw first. Game on. $137. $180.
Well, there's one thing that's working really well now for John O'Shea. That's those maximum hits. That is the third 180 of this game for John O'Shea. And this is what you need when you're up against the darts. A big power scoring leg.
59.
But coming up dry there. Let's put it pretty much back on par. Just now makes the 180 pretty much non-effective.
58. $58.
So Van Trijp here, 6 darts and 210 to get this game won, to get over the line and to get his first win of this Group
6.
B. Only 60, more than punishable for John.
$58. Danny, you require 150.
Since the 180. Not hit another single treble there, John O'Shea. He's still got a chance though.
82.
It's an outside
Johnny
chance. He
require
needs 2 trebles here for a
146.
poke at the outer ring. There's one.
It's double 13.
Game shot,
It's
sixth
wonderful.
leg.
The
John
Joker
O'Shea.
has played his trump cards. The 146 goes.
7 from
And for
final
3-1
leg, it's
behind,
John to throw
John
first.
O'Shea has taken us
Game
the
on.
distance. There's the fist bump of acknowledgement from his Dutch opponent, Danny Van Trijp. And it is the former world master from the Republic of Ireland who will have the darts to serve it out after his
93.
opponent couldn't do likewise.
What a leg of everything that was. A 180 to start, a 146 to finish, and then nothing in between.
100.
He'll be delighted with that though. 15 dart breaker throat. He's now the favourite to go on and win this, and look at the rhythm, look at the fluency. And that is the 4th maximum there for John O'Shea. Danny Van Trijp's going to feel like this one has slipped away.
95.
There is a never say die attitude that is attached to John O'Shea. Whatever the situation, however the cards stack up,
100.
he'll always try his best to find a way out of it. And has he found his way out of a big hole here? He was 3-1 behind against Danny Van Trijp, who in complete and utter control of this match. But it's O'Shea who's going to get an opportunity to win it here. He's not going to do it with back-to-back ton plus checkouts.
52.
And if Danny's going to win this match, he may have to take out the 170 here. Another one of them. O'Shea back for 76.
105. John, you require 76.
88.
Game shot.
John
and the
O'Shea
match.
from
John
3-1
O'Shea.
behind has reeled off 3 legs on the spin to beat Danny Van Trijp. That 1-4-6 finish brought us all the way to a last leg decider, and from that point onwards he was able to see the game home. It'd be one that Danny Van Trijp will feel like he's let slip, having mismatched darts to win it. O'Shea 4, Van Trijp 3, and now we're going to see the newly crowned Lakeside champion for the first time on the Super Series stage since winning that crown. Shane McGuirk takes on Kelvin O'Keefe. He's already lost tonight to Brandon Weening.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score, leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts, but he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Oki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's giving George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go!
Couldn't get the job
Yes!
done.
Got out the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Games on a second leg.
Bullseye shots in a row.
Oh, yeah.
3 in a row.
Games on a third
Oh
leg.
my word.
Shane McGuirk.
2 more. And that is the end of his night. Very good.
John McGuirk. Shane McGuirk.
It's the arrival here at the MODUS Super Series of the newly crowned WDF World Champion, Shane McGuirk. He picked up the title at the Lakeside back in December, and he now finds himself on the Super Series stage for the first time since then. His first assignment of the night, Kelvin O'Keefe, who lost out to Brandon Weening 4-2. McGuirk, 29 years of age, from Monaghan in the Republic of Ireland. In his country, are so proud of him. The reception that he's had since picking up that title has been immense. For Kelvin O'Keefe, well, the last few months have been a bit of a darting dream for him. Almost picked up a tour card. He is looking to have success on the Super Series stage on his debut. But for Shane McGuirk, the parameters for him are so much different in comparison to what they were before. We've always known of the talent that he's got, and he is an immense
First
talent.
leg, it's Shane to throw first.
But when you pick up the title
on.
that he picked up back in December, the scrutiny, the expectation goes up another notch. And the first thing you can see is he's put the star
100.
on the flight.
It was defining, wasn't it, in regards to Shane McGuirk, how we look at him, how we analyse him, how
55.
people perceive him now. No longer is he just a face in the crowd of being a good dart player. He goes to things such as
140.
Q School. People pick his name out. People pick his name out in lists of people to keep an eye on, people that expect to get tour cards. The perception changes very quickly.
100.
Well, I'm not a David Bowie fan, but there is a star man finding itself on the flight.
34.
Clearly not a songwriter either.
More like it. More like it.
180.
And this is the other thing Shane's going to probably work out for himself as well. Everybody now is going to raise their
91.
game when they play him. Scott Mitchell was here a few weeks ago, and it was a decade since he's won that particular tournament. And he said overnight, the way players played against him instantaneously
98.
changed. You
Shane,
go
you
from
require
just being
136.
another player in the crowd to that one person you want to get the scalp of. But he's looking to kick off his campaign with a ton plus checkout, but the 136 isn't going to go, and so O'Keefe has an opportunity here on the
92.
68
Kelvin, you
to get the
require
break and to
68.
take the opening rubber. It's double four. It doesn't go, and so
64.
McGuirk here
Shane, you require
looking at 44 to take out the opening leg. He's had to evade a couple of bullets, but he's now got a dart at double 16. But he
12.
cannot take the opportunity
Kelvin,
he's
you
been
require
afforded.
4.
It's been a good step up for Kelvin O'Keefe in regards to the scoring phases. But the way his darts stand up, you can see how it's a problem. He's had to shuffle across to try and open up the target.
No score.
It's another one on the floor. I
Shane,
feel
you
this is going to be a very
require
common
32.
theme with Kelvin O'Keefe, but that is a missed opportunity. 5 darts. You feel he won't be back.
And this is awkward. This double 8 is awkward because the way his darts stand up to
24.
attention, and by the distance
Kelvin,
it
you
went wide
require
over
4.
to the right, that awkwardness was laid bare with that final dart. And so double 2 here for Kelvin O'Keefe, up for the Madhouse.
No score.
Well, he's had his chances. He's had
Shane, you
8
require
chances
8.
to win this opening leg. McGuirk back for 2 fours. This is where it all went wrong originally for Kelvin O'Keefe.
No score. Kelvin, you require 4.
Well, back we go again. Double 2 for Kelvin O'Keefe. Madhouse.
2.
Doesn't go, and so McGuirk will
Shane, you
come
require
back. Double
8.
4 to complete what's been a nerve-jangling first leg.
No score. Kelvin, you
22
require
missed
2.
darts and a double between this pair in this leg.
You see, Shane doesn't quite understand
No
it, but the
score.
dart pulled low again
Shane, you require
from
8.
Kelvin O'Keefe. Who's going to take this leg? Who wants it?
Nice little 30 dart holder throw for Shane McGuirk to get underway.
I mean, the amount of darts Kelvin O'Keefe had in that leg to win that leg, if you'd have said to
Second
him,
leg, it's
you can
Kelvin
have
to
that
the
many
row
darts
first.
in this
Game
whole
on.
match at a double, he'd have snapped your hands off.
$100. 99.
Well, we've got the nervy leg out of the way within this match. Now Kelvin looking to
140.
build ahead of stride.
Well, this is what he did in the opening leg, wasn't it? It was very, very good when it came to the scoring stakes. But what tends to happen after you have a leg like
59.
that and you get stuck on the double, what happens is the next leg, you go with the first start, and you think, why couldn't I do that before?
Three minutes 56 seconds that
140.
first leg took. But as you mentioned, this second leg, well, it's night and day in
140.
comparison to the first. Now, Keith here
Kelvin, you require
has got 6 darts on
121.
this. 121 to hold the throw and to level this match up at 1 apiece. Down for treble 17. Would have given him a dart at the bull if he wanted to.
91.
Left himself on double 15 upon his return. 66 scored.
86.
He's himself on
Kelvin, you
117.
require
O'Keefe,
30.
double 15.
Game
Into
shot on
the corner.
second
What was
leg,
it you
Kelvin
said?
O'Keefe.
Seen it a million times. Always happens that way. You get stuck on a double, you can't take
Third
it out.
leg,
4 or
it's
5
Shane to the row
handfuls.
first.
Next time you come,
Game on.
first dart.
And that is where you get paid the big bucks.
140. $140.
Well, this is picking up nicely now, isn't it?
100.
That first leg feels like a long time ago.
We expected it from this pair, particularly McGuirk, to snap out of that particular rut very, very quickly.
But we didn't know what to expect from Kelvin O'Keefe, and he didn't quite produce
28.
in his first match, did he? Only averaged 68 in that one when he lost to Brandon Weening.
57.
But starting to show why he reached a final at stage 2 of Q School. Was 2 legs away from being a tour card holder.
And for a lot of players, reaching stage 2 is an achievement in itself, let alone getting as close as he did. And well,
100.
put it this way, he got closer than a world champion in terms of getting his tour card this year. That's just fact.
58.
Well, McGuirk's first to a finish, but O'Keefe will hope to leave himself on a 2-darter upon his return. That's not going to happen now.
85. Shane, you require
146
146.
plays 148 in this leg. It's McGuirk first poke. Another one of them will leave himself double 16. Well, this is
And
incredible.
on the
The
third
first
leg,
leg, neither
Shane
player could hit a
McGuirk.
thing, and now they're firing on all cylinders. McGuirk takes out the 146. It's the
Fourth
second
flag,
time it's
it's
been
Kelvin
taken
to the
out
row
tonight,
first.
taken in different
Game on.
directions, and taken by 2 different Irish players. At long last, McGuirk firing, and firing well.
140.
I'm wondering why it wasn't happening before there. That's what he'll be thinking. Like, I just feel like it's absolutely bonkers. What is bonkers though is the 140 hitting from Kelvin
44.
O'Keefe. That is his 4th 140 of the game so far. He's opening each leg very strong, is Kelvin O'Keefe. Certainly if he can keep doing this on his darts, he's going to stay on the coattails here of the
59.
2024 WDF World Darts Champion.
$140.
Well, he's just beginning to find a bit of a groove now, is Shane. Look, the averages are going to be absolutely destroyed and decimated by what happened in the first leg. That is an absolute irrelevance at this
61.
present moment in time. But for Shane, it is all about just hammering home and getting those first 2 points. And effectively what he can do as well is he can make O'Keefe a little bit of a bystander in this group.
85.
Because defeat here would mean the Welshman would be 0-2 and would be halfway through his night after game 3.
108.
Well, that is his second maximum of this match. He's finding plenty around that treble 20.
6.
Shane McGuirk
Kelvin,
opted
you
to not
require
move to the
61.
bullseye 25 there, meaning Kelvin O'Keefe guaranteed 6 starts now at the 61.
$21. $140. Kelvin, you require 40.
Drags that low.
36. Shane, you require 32.
This is a chance now for Shane McGuirk to break the throw, to have full control. He would then have the darts in the last, or the next, which could be the
Gets on
last.
The fourth leg, Shane McGuirk.
Shane McGuirk gets a grip on the fixture for the first time. A breaker thrower, Kelvin O'Keefe, resists
Fifth leg,
the
it's
challenge
Shane to throw
of
first.
the big power
Game
scoring
on.
that Kelvin's been putting forward. But I suppose the problem for Kelvin is evident to see. You don't have to look too far. You just have to look at the doubles percentage.
100.
5%.
$41. $59. $90. $48.
Just stumbling towards the finishing line here, Shane McGuirk. Kelvin can get his scoring boots back like it has at the start of this game. He could play himself back
100.
into contention here.
But McGuirk looking to see this tie off once and for all. Be
81.
unhappy with the slack class start there.
Be unhappy with his performance, Shane McGuirk, and you can see it in his mannerisms and his body language. He wanted to get up there and perform and put on a show.
82.
And ultimately, that does deflect sometimes from what you're trying to do, which is trying to win Group B. Trying to win a week here at the Super Series.
96.
And McGuirk's on a finish for the match. He's already taken out the 146 in this contest. He will now come back for 117 to complete a 4-1 win.
100.
O'Keefe on a
Shane, you require
two-darter if this does
117.
not go. The first leg was very scrappy, but McGuirk has kept himself together from that point onwards. And if he finds tops, he wins the match with 2 ton plus checkouts. What a funny old game this sport can be at times. The first leg was won in 30 darts. He's then found 2 ton plus checkouts. And the newly crowned Lakeside champion is on the board for the evening. McGuirk beats O'Keefe by 4 legs to 1. Coming up next, Brandon Weening takes on John O'Shea. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Levanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Luke Ledlow! Welcome back to the live lounge here in Portsmouth. This is the MODUS Super Series, and before the break we saw Shane McGuirk get the better of Kelvin O'Keefe by 4 legs to 1. A couple of tub plus checkouts for the newly crowned WDF World Champion after what was quite a lacklustre first leg. Game 4 sees Brandon Weening and John O'Shea go head to head here at the live lounge in Portsmouth, and I've got a feeling that this could well be an intriguing counter between the pair. Both players play with their heart on their sleeves, and if they both get going, this really could be quite the spectacle. If you have just joined us following a night of Premier League darts, welcome to you. You've missed Brandon Weening get the better of Kelvin O'Keefe 4-2, John O'Shea beating Danny Van Trijp 4-3. And before the break, as I mentioned, Shane McGuirk beating Kelvin again by
135.
4 legs to 1. Many congratulations goes to Luke Littler for winning the Premier League final in Glasgow, beating Luke Humphreys
93.
by 6 legs to 5. Gerwin Price and Michael Van Gerwen also made their way through to the semi-finals that night. So the second week of the
58.
17-week roadshow has come to an end. And now you get the opportunity to enjoy an extended night of darts here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth.
26.
For Brandon, had a couple of ton plus checkouts. His doubling was okay, but in his 4-2 win against Kelvin O'Keefe, he went in front early and
134.
took control of the game. And once he had that sense of control, he never really relinquished it. Whilst John came back from 3-1 behind against Danny Van Trijp, had to dodge a couple of match darts. The 146 was one of the key components in winning that game, as was 4 maximums in sealing a 4-3 win.
54.
He's got off to the better of this first leg against the throw. But Weening looking to apply maximum pressure. That 1-3-4, sorry, 1-3-3.
You require
Half the score to leave himself 1-3-2. Awkward. May look at Bull here. Decides to stay upstairs.
60. Brandon, you require 132.
Trouble 19. Bull.
Game shot
Oh!
of first
How
leg.
about that?
Brandon Weening.
Crack open the court because the Pythons found the
Second
champagne
leg,
finish.
It's John to the row first. Game on.
That's his 3rd ton plus checkout in 5 legs that he's won this evening.
57.
And that, the best of the lot.
It's kind of been a bit of a theme of the evening, hasn't it? The ton plus checkouts. 3 from Brandon Weening, John O'Shea with one himself, taking out the 146, which was also taken out by
43.
Shane McGuirk, along with the 117 for the match, and Kelvin O'Keefe with a ton. If that continues, we're in for quite a treat.
140.
7 ton plus checkouts for the night, and we're only in game 4. There's sometimes Group A sessions where you don't get that many.
134.
Well, that was the type of finish that would
69.
just get you purring, wouldn't it? And he really is beginning to
140.
make his move. O'Shea was sat on 60 when that 1-3-2 went in the previous leg to break the throw.
42.
And it looks like it may have just knocked the stuffing out of him a little bit. Weening's taken the darts here. Looking to open up a 2-0 lead like he did against Kelvin O'Keefe.
$60.
But only a 60 there has opened up a door of opportunity here for John O'Shea.
95. Brandon, you
Leaves
require
himself on a
124.
2-darter. Well, you wouldn't back Brandon Weening against anything right now, would you?
Can't take it from here. John O'Shea was a slow starter, wasn't he, in his last game, and a really put his foot to the
56.
floor
John, you
from being in
require
a position
98.
behind.
$60.
Maybe the same sort
Brandon,
of
you
equation here.
require
A couple of
68.
missed starts there for John O'Shea. Brandon Weening can now break the throw.
Double 4. Oh,
No
he's
score.
bust it.
John,
He's
you
gone too
require
high.
38.
And he's allowed O'Shea an opportunity to return. He's going to split for double 16,
Game shot
find
of
the
second
target,
leg, John
and we are
O'Shea.
back on level terms in this match.
Third leg, it's Brandon to the row first. Game on. $46. 81. $60. 140. $100. 40.
Weening.
100
With that maximum there, will leave himself for 115.
$100. Brandon, you require 115.
Weening looking at 115 to open up a 2-1 lead in this match. Not another one. Not another one.
Game shot.
Oh, you better believe it. This is 4 for the night already. The 115 joins the ton, 106 and 132.
It's John to the row
He has won 6 legs this evening, 4 of them with ton plus checkouts.
Yeah, that's mightily impressive, isn't it? Really, really top draw darts there from Brandon Weening. And it just feels so likely, doesn't it? Anytime he's on one of these sort of low combination shots, you just feel it's going to go. Maybe that's what happens when you have an extended preparation time. 4 hours early today. That is
82.
sort of Mervyn King, Connor Scott-esque.
Well, if Mervyn King's here, I wouldn't be surprised if he's banging on the door at 4:30 in the morning ahead of a Group A campaign.
100.
We'll see Mervyn here in 2025. More details on that before too long. We're also going to be featuring the World Seniors next week at the iconic Circus Tavern venue.
$100.
Not comfortable with the performance here, John O'Shea. Sets very high standards for
42.
himself, expects a lot. He has backed up his expectations over many a year, has John O'Shea.
60. John, you require 140.
140 for John O'Shea isn't going to go on this particular occasion. Weening will return for 141 to get the break and throw, and he's going to have to take it out. Otherwise, O'Shea could be very quickly on his coattails. He's left himself on tops. And for all the ton plus finishing he's hit tonight, this would be the biggest one of the lot, and he's not going to take it out. Now, there's a double-edged sword about this map, because
John,
yes, he is taking ton
40.
plus checkouts out, and he's taking them out quite efficiently. But seemingly,
Yeah,
they're the
so the
only
fourth
opportunities
leg,
he's
John
getting in
O'Shea.
legs, because the scoring in large parts hasn't quite been at the same level as that of
Fifth
John
leg,
O'Shea at
it's Brandon
times.
to the row first. Game on.
Yeah, fair. I'd say it's just the consistency there, isn't it, for Brandon Weening? He's having really good flashes and moments, but not quite gelling them all
99.
together at the moment to bring out a consistent game.
But O'Shea back on terms, level at 2-2.
100.
Then he found himself behind in his match against Danny Van Trijp. 3-1 behind, had match darts against him before turning the game around.
100. $60. 92. $100.
Get to see a real genuine attack on the opponent's throw. But that may come here due to the slip of Brandon Weening. John O'Shea will recognise the opportunity.
99. Brandon, you require 164.
164 for Brandon Weening to open up a 3-2 lead in this match.
$56.
Not shaving much off
John,
this,
you
Brandon
require
Weening. Stumbling towards the
142.
finishing post in this leg. But what has been his key strength? It's been those low ton combinations.
52.
Can he add another?
Brandon, you require 108.
Well, it's in the wheelhouse. It's in his range. It's in the Weening range. Able to find the treble there with dart 2, and so O'Shea's going to come back for 90. May just be a dart at the bullseye here to open up a 3-2 lead in this
92.
match. Leaves himself on
John, you
double 8
require
if there
90.
is a return. Double 15. Inside, frustration
82.
pouring all over the face of John
Brandon, you
O'Shea.
require 16.
And so Brandon Weening will return for double 8 to open up a 3-2 lead in this match, and he'll be one away from the victory post.
Game
In
shot
it
on the
goes.
fifth leg. Brandon
3-2
Weening.
to the Aussie.
Sixth leg. It's John to throw first. Game on. $96. $134. $60.
Three players will make their passage through this group, and when we take a look at how the group is panning out, Kelvin O'Keefe, who had been to the hockey twice, lost both of those games. Averages just a little lower than that of the chasing pack here in Group B, which I
100.
think if that continues, we're looking at potentially 3 from 4, and that'll be 4 players who you think would all be beating each other at some stage. I think this group could go to the wire. So getting points on the board nice and early could be vital here, and Brandon Weening is 93 points away from being 4 from 4.
100. Brandon, you require 93.
Well, this for 4 points in the group. This to take the early ascendancy in proceedings in this Group B. It's a match start at double 16, and that's all he
And
needs
the match,
to
Brandon
round that
Weening.
match off. Brandon Weening, 2 wins from 2. It's another exhibition of ton plus finishing from the Australian ace. Business-like tonight, and going about his business quite well. At the halfway point of his evening, he's got maximum points. He has beaten John O'Shea by 4 legs to 2. Next up it is Danny Van Trijp against Shane McGuirk.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score, leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie, you
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts, but he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie,
approaching the
require
Oki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that
Charlie,
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie,
Threw
you
the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Got
Couldn't
it,
get the
gets
job
it.
done.
Got in the match, and the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Before the break, Brandon Weening picked up his second win of the night, having got the better of John O'Shea by 4 legs to 2. Shane McGuirk's got the opportunity to join Brandon on 4 points and to keep Danny Van Trijp on 0 if he can win this particular match. The final 3 practice darts are about to be thrown and the battle lines are about to be drawn in this meeting between the man from the Republic of Ireland, who is the current Lakeside champion, up against Danny Van Trijp, who made it through to the semi-finals of the Dutch Open
First
earlier on this
leg,
month.
it's
He's
Danny
actually
to the
made it through to the
first.
semi-final of that
Game on.
competition on 2 separate occasions. Here's Van Trijp to get us underway. Letter 3-1 lead
140.
against John O'Shea, slip in his opening match of the night.
You feel like we're going to see a bit more here, don't you, from Shane
140.
McGuirk now? He's had that nervy one, the edgy one out the way. He's reacquitted himself with the stage now under his new alias.
85.
And you just feel like we're going to see that Shane McGuirk that we saw a few months ago. Gracing
99.
that Lakeside stage in style.
Winning a World Championship is one thing, but it comes with a lot of adages.
6.
Things that you don't even think about. And me and Matt, before the session got underway, spent a bit of time with Shane for a feature you'll see on Pluto TV before too long. And just the way he spoke, and the way he
78.
goes about things, I think he's going to be a great ambassador with the title that he has. I think he takes everything in his stride. I mean, you see a lot of the things that have happened back at home since he's won the title. I think the WDF are very lucky to have a champion like Shane.
82. Danny, you require 134.
And try plug it at 134 for the first leg, not to be on this occasion.
58.
Girk had a
Shane,
couple
you
of ton
require
plus outs in his opening
102.
game, the 146 and the 117. Is he going to add the 102 to the mix? All but for the
88.
skim of a
Danny
Y on the double
requires
14.
76.
Well, it's going to have to be 25 bull here. And it's a block bull. Can he loop one over the top? Yes, he
And
can.
shot of
That
first leg.
is the
Danny
best
Van
dart
Trijp.
we have seen all night. He managed to find
Second
a way
leg,
over the
exchange
top
of the road
into a
first.
block bullseye
Game
bed. And Danny Van Trijp takes the lead.
Yeah, what makes that so impressive is the angle of entry, isn't it? If that was someone whose dart lands a bit flatter,
61.
someone like Richie Howson, you'd have said, well, they expected him to do that. It was inviting. It was the ideal dart for the bullseye, but not for a player who has a
123.
bit of a lift on their dart like Danny does. I mean, he had to go high and round.
96.
Give it the old David Beckham.
Over the wall and into the back of the net. Although I suppose more in Danny Van
100.
Trijp's case, it'd be a bit more Marco van Basten, wouldn't it?
$140.
Well, I said to you off air before we got this game going that
81.
there's a potential that this could well be the game of the night. You'd say these two, alongside John, probably have the highest ceilings in this group at the moment.
28. $60. $140. Danny, you
Nice hit
require
there for McGuirk to leave himself on the
137.
finish. They're always nice shots like that where you hit a 140 or a 180. The best is always like the 212, the 180 to leave the double 16.
Shane, you require
Shane will
36.
be very happy with where he's left himself here for a level game.
2 9s. Inside, and so Van Trijp has got an opportunity to open up a
30.
2-0 lead.
Danny, you require
And a miss trade with
40.
dart 3 means that if he comes back, he's at the bottom of the board. And Danny's had his woes when it's come to doubling this evening. And those
35.
particular problems
Shane,
rear
you
its ugly head
require
again.
6. No score. Danny, you require 5.
Needs to kick into gear here, Shane McGuirk. Van Trijp looking at double 2.
Game shot
To
on the
open up a
second leg.
2-0
Danny
lead.
Van Trijp.
He puts the boot in, does Danny Van Trijp.
Third leg, it's Danny to throw first. Game on. $81. $59. $140.
This is where problems have arose, though, for Danny Van Trijp, hasn't it? That sort of 2-0 up scoreline, having the darts, gets down to the double.
134.
This is 3 and gets drawn into battle. He's never just managed to make life easy for himself so far this week.
85. $56. $95.
Good pick off of the last start. Leaves Van Trijp on a ton. In fact, Danny Van Trijp is the only player in this group without a ton plus checkout tonight.
So far, so far. That might be
58.
about to
Danny, you
change.
require 100.
If he could have had 2 tops.
60.
We'll be happy enough, Joe, with a setup play there. This is exactly the scenario I was just describing. 2-0 up, 3 darts at a double for a comfortable lead.
140.
Can he put it right on this
Danny, you
occasion?
require 40.
And McGuirk is breathing down his neck.
Game shot on the
Trijp
third
is
leg.
3-0 up.
Danny Van Trijp.
And he had a similar kind of position, didn't he, in his game against John O'Shea, where he had darts at
Fourth
double.
leg.
O'Shea wasn't
exchange
far
to the
behind. Van
reverse.
Trijp missed, and
Game on.
O'Shea hit. But he atones for that particular error, and he could be atoning for that opening loss to his evening.
57.
McGuirk won his first match quite heavily against Kelvin O'Keefe, but could be on the cusp of a demoralising 4-0 loss here.
100.
O'Keefe and O'Shea go
95.
head-to-head in Game 6 of the session. That's coming up after this one's completed.
45. $40. 83. 171.
Oh, what a setup that is for McGuirk. The full complement to treble 19s leads himself on the Della.
98. Shane, you require 138.
Well, he's not going to fire 4 in a row. But he's in a
96.
commanding position in this leg. He's going to get a couple when he returns. Van Trijp will be happy to take the insurance policy in the next leg of throwing for the match. Is what he's probably going to have to settle for right now.
99. Shane, you require 42.
McGuirk has missed 6 darts to the outer ring in this match. Make that 8.
26.
And there's
Danny,
a
you
makeable
require
opportunity
76.
here for Danny Van Trijp to take this match. He's going to get 2 in his hand, a double 8 to complete a 4-0 win.
68. Shane, you require 16.
Doubles haven't been good for Shane McGuirk tonight. He's been getting stuck at times.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Shane McGuirk.
And I think the shake of the head there is for many reasons. The last start in hand, the missed opportunities,
leg,
and the
it's
fact
Johnny to the
that was probably
reverse.
going wide.
Game
We
on.
saw how much it clattered into the darts there. The misses actually ended up being a bit of a help for McGuirk. A little bit
60.
like the old basketball hoop, isn't it? Hit the backboard and in.
Kind of the equivalent in football of a shot which strays wide, but actually just comes off the shin of the defender and it diverts into the back of the net, and the goalkeeper can't do anything about it. Happy deflection, happy ricochet nonetheless for the Irishman.
$96. $100. $60.
Well, Van Trijp here has 6 darts on 216 to see this particular contest out.
100.
He'll settle for the ton and run.
Very similar situation to what Shane McGuirk won his game on, wasn't it? A 117 finish from McGuirk. 1 point less here for Danny Van Trijp, but McGuirk has put himself back in this leg
Danny
from
required
nowhere there. A
116.
maximum.
The class of a world champion. But this to finish the match off. Tots of the
Game shot and
116.
the match.
And that means
Danny Van
every
Trijp.
player this evening has had a ton plus checkout. And for Danny Van Trijp, it sees the match off. He's not overly enamoured with his display, but he will take those 2 points nonetheless. It sees him up into second. Shane McGuirk, well, he'll stay down in third position in the group. We're halfway through the night now, and we're going to have a very quick advert break. And when we return, we're going to have more darts for you, and it's going to see Kelvin O'Keefe take on John O'Shea. you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit. What a moment! Yes, we
Game shot
can.
and the match. Game shot on a
Yeah,
fifth
that's an
flag.
almost central
Reece
ball, but
Collins.
that is a 1-2-1.
He's to the ball. Andreas
Game
Harrison
shot on the
nodding
first
along in the
flag.
background. He
10
thought it
minutes.
was going to go, and he was right. Can he wrap it up? In style, that's the way to do it.
As we see here, a massive turn opportunity.
Game shot on the third
Simple,
flag. Carl
bish,
Wilson.
bash, bosh.
Indeed it does, like it does every Monday. So week 5 gets underway on Monday morning from 9:30. Reece Colley, who had a decent run at Lakeside not too long ago. Kurt Parry, who continues to impress here. Ted Everts is here, as well as our friend from Cyprus, Ektoris Stylianou. In Group B, Reece Robinson, Mark McGuinney and Jamie Owens will be in what I think could be a real fiery affair in Group B. Group C sees Carl Wilson come back with Ricky King and Dan Nichols. So that's next week. It's 9:30 a.m. It's live, it's exclusive and free on Pluto TV. But in terms of tonight's action, this is what we have watched so far. Brandon Weening, the only player of a perfect record, the only player to win against the darts. Everything else has gone to the left-hand side of the draw bracket. And so at the halfway point of the night, Weening the player on top on 4 points. Van Trijp, McGuirk and O'Shea all with a win apiece, whilst Kelvin O'Keefe is the only player yet to pick up a point on this Thursday evening. But he has the opportunity to put that right here as he takes on John O'Shea in what is match 6 of 10 here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. An evening which is being watched in the commentary box from myself, Henry Deacon, and in the company of Matthew Edgar as well for all of the action in this Group B. Well, for John O'Shea,
First leg, it's
averaging
Kelvin
pretty
to the
much
row
around
first.
85, 86 for the night. Fired on all
Game on.
cylinders in terms of the maximum count in game 1 against Danny Van Trijp, but was hit by a couple of haymakers by Brandon Weening. Found himself a couple of legs behind in that match. And Weening then took charge. Whilst for Kelvin, well,
45.
he never really recovered, did he, from that first leg against Shane McGuirk, where both players had a bit of a disaster on the doubles, and Shane was just able to
140.
hold it together a bit better.
When you think about what's coming ahead for him, he's probably got quite a long night ahead here. John O'Shea now, and Danny Van Trijp, the other player, he's still yet to play.
59.
Could be looking ahead, thinking, where's my results going to come from tonight? There's been good moments for Kelvin O'Keefe. He's shown us
121.
flashes. It's all very new to him, isn't it, playing at this sort of level, being hit back as hard as he has been in the first couple of games, and what he'll be expecting for
60.
the rest of the evening. Because John O'Shea's hit the ground running here.
$60. $87.
O'Shea 6 starts here from 180 to get the breaker throw in this opening leg.
80.
Rounds it off quite nicely, actually, there. 150 points ahead after the opening 12. That guarantees him 6
Johnny
starts now to get the breaker throw
100.
confirmed here.
$80. $91. Johnny
Leaves himself on a
required
ton
20.
in case O'Shea cannot take out this double 10.
Yeah, nice pick off that with the last start.
Game shot on the first leg.
Getting in
John
range where it
O'Shea.
mattered none what. John O'Shea gets that breaker throw. And once again, Kelvin
Second leg
O'Keefe
is
back in a
John to the row
chasing
first.
position.
Game on. $100.
Just starting to play with a bit more freedom now, you feel, John O'Shea. Certainly towards the back end of his last game was starting to play a little bit quicker. He's one of those players that seem to pick it up when they play with a little bit more pace.
140. $57. $81. $58.
Well, it's kind of a copy of the first leg, isn't it? The
100.
player throwing second, landing the heavier blows in the scoring department.
100.
Well, there's no heavier blow than that from John O'Shea, putting himself back in the leg. First maximum of the game. His 5th of the day. He hit 4 earlier on.
And depending what O'Keefe does with his last start,
60.
you'd
Johnny
say now
require
from this point onwards,
106.
O'Shea is favoured to win the leg. You got the breaking leg one. Looking to confirm it there. Wanted to just double check whether that was in or not. It was quite close to the wire, and so just wanted to get confirmation from Jack
Calvin, you
Garwood.
require
He's
120.
himself on double 10 if O'Keefe cannot climb the ladder. Cannot find the treble, and so the Joker will come back looking at 210s
100. John,
to
you
open up a
require
2-0
20.
lead in this contest. There's a lot of things that are getting very close to wires.
Game
But there was
second leg.
no,
John O'Shea.
no need to check twice about that. Right in the middle of the bed. O'Shea 2 up.
Third leg. It's Kelvin to throw first. Game on.
Every game,
120.
every game, Kelvin O'Keefe's had to pick one up off the floor. That's his 5th bounce out of the night, and I know that because I've been keeping a tally. Because from the moment I saw him throw in earlier on, I thought this is a player who's going to be subject to bounce outs. He had 2 in his first game, 2 in his second, and that's the first one he's had here. And that's looking a little bit loose.
108.
Brave and quality.
That could have easily ended up being Gary Anderson-esque, that everything could have fell out.
We've got potential here, going from a 180 to a 3.
21.
Stayed away from the possibility there, John O'Shea. Maybe wisely so, because that would have been a clip that he wouldn't want to be replayed very often, but you can guarantee it would have been
55.
played on a regular basis. Probably have been sent to him on a WhatsApp group by his friends on many occasions.
44. Calvin, you require 146.
O'Keefe 146. Well, it can't be done on this. Particular occasion.
82.
Just whirling around there with the numbers. O'Keefe will come back. We'll look to get a leg on
60.
the board.
Calvin, you require 64.
Should get a dart. And he is going to get a dart. It's double 16, and that's a
John,
leg on the
third
board
leg. Kelvin
for
O'Keefe.
Kelvin O'Keefe. He halves the gap.
Fourth leg. It's John to throw first. Game on. 97.
Well, Kelvin O'Keefe is just beginning to up the levels a little bit. 15 down on the last leg. Got his second max of the game there.
58.
And is beginning to pose serious questions of John O'Shea's throw.
$60. $81. $85. $105.
Gets him first down to a finish, but Kelvin O'Keefe will be fancying the opportunity here to leave it much more handy.
$140.
Beautiful
John, you
darts.
require 106.
Lays it down to John O'Shea, who hasn't got the answer here and looking a little bit frustrated. Kelvin O'Keefe, significantly better than anything we've seen from him so far tonight. He's averaged 68 and 79 in his first 2 games. Now,
Calvin, you require
92 and a half.
56.
Double 18 for level match. This
Game
is
shot of
more
fourth
like
leg.
it.
Kelvin O'Keefe.
This is much more like it for Kelvin O'Keefe. This is the caliber of player that went deep at Q School.
Fifth leg. It's
And maybe
Kelvin
it just
to throw
took him a
first.
couple of games to
Game on.
acclimatise to the stage, the environment, the lights. This is something completely brand new for him. And now he's beginning to
97.
find the range and find the radar that we know he's more than capable of.
100. $85. 51. 55. 121.
Maximum there would have got John O'Shea down to a finish. He needs to find a rebreaker throw if he is going to win this game. Kelvin O'Keefe putting up an almighty challenge here.
43.
But has yet to really nose in front, has he, in any of his games today?
99.
O'Shea's left himself on the little fish.
He's getting a lot of darts, isn't he? Just on the bottom wire, which isn't ideal for him.
43.
See why there,
Johnny
both of those
require
hitting that dart.
130.
Needs to get more height.
$94.
Well, worrying times ahead here for O'Keefe. You feel like this is a match that for him, he really can ill afford to lose. Loses this, he will lose severe ground on those directly above him. He'd then have to hope really the band of Weening
Johnny
goes
require
and
36.
dominates the group just to keep things as tight as possible. 2 9s for O'Shea for the break and 3-2.
Game
Last
shot on the
started
fifth
him.
flag. John O'Shea.
3-2 O'Shea has the darts of the match here.
It's just when you start to get that hope, isn't it? When the last dart in hand comes, you
Sixth flag. It's
feel
John
you may be coming back to the board, and then
Game on.
it's snatched away. Always feels so much more cruel when you're the one at the back of the stage, depending on
57.
which dart it hits. But he hasn't come out hitting here. John O'Shea coming up dry on visit 1. And this seesaw continues.
Just giving Kelvin an opportunity. And to be fair, his power
100.
scoring in this game has been much, much better than it has done in games 1 and 2 of the night.
He's really acquitted himself well here. He's found
100.
a visit less to the board as far as this game goes. John O'Shea's just found a little bit more at the key moments.
Well, this is the thing about Group B. Even though he's lost his first couple of games, if he can win this one, he is by no means anywhere near out of the equation. And that 180 may have just changed the tide and the complexion of this leg.
Yeah, hasn't it? 180 all night, Kelvin O'Keefe, until this
95.
game, and now he's found 3. So a clear sign and indication into the development and the improvement that has come from Kelvin in this game, and he's in again.
108.
4 180s in this game. He's on for potential 11 darter here to take us all the way to a last leg
Kelvin
decider.
require 41.
Some turnaround this. It's double 16 to take us all the way. Now that's a little bit awkward, but he has got time on his side if this doesn't go.
9.
Doubles haven't been too strong, have they? 1 from 19 in the last game for Kelvin.
60.
But that
Kelvin, you
60 will make
require
him feel better.
32.
John O'Shea still a long way back. Kelvin to take us the distance, and he would have the darts in the last leg if he can just pin this double 16.
$16.
Long way
Johnny
off when
require
he's tried to make that adjustment.
148.
But this needs to be a perfect visit. 2 trebles And a double not going to go. John O'Shea can have a look, but whatever angle you look from, it's going to just be a single 20.
100. Kelvin,
Now we
requires
reach an interesting
16.
point. O'Keefe finds this, we go all the way. If not, O'Shea is hot on his heels.
Game's
And
on
it
the
goes,
sixth
and
leg.
we go
Kelvin
all the
O'Keefe.
way. O'Keefe free, O'Shea free.
7th and final leg. It's Kelvin to throw first. Game on.
The fist bump before the final leg gets underway here.
This is the first time we've seen Kelvin O'Keefe in this
58.
situation. He lost his opening game by 4 legs to 2 to Brandon Weening. He then lost 4-1 to Shane McGuirk. He's not got this close to a win.
140.
And the opening exchange heavily in favour there of John O'Shea. Can't come up dry again. And won't.
100.
Class this from John O'Shea.
140.
2 big power scores there. O'Keefe even a maximum can't leave him a finish, so John O'Shea has the advantage. O'Keefe now just playing catch up, trying to
54.
keep tabs here on John O'Shea. Just hoping for a mistake from the Joker.
45.
Insert mistake here. But you do feel that O'Keefe's going to have to find another maximum. He's found 4 already. A 5th here could be the key.
Needs another to leave a finish.
95.
So John O'Shea is 6 starts and 176 to eventually get over the line. He's been made to work harder for this than he would have liked.
100.
Finds the treble with his last dart. 76 remains after a dozen.
A relieving last start there for John O'Shea, because panic would have started to set in. He's looking over to the scoreboard, seeing what type of luxury he's got.
60. John, you
Maybe he
require
got 6 here,
76.
but he'll want to get this done nice and clean.
It's tops for the match.
56.
Goes
Kelvin,
below.
you require
Well, this
134.
would feel like a sucker punch for O'Shea if O'Keefe could win it with a 1-3-4.
And possibly vital for Kelvin O'Keefe's prospects here in Group B. Oh, it's on. Got options.
$94. John, you require
Double 10.
20.
For the match. For John O'Shea, 2 5s. Inside, and so O'Keefe here, who's
16.
been behind pretty
Kelvin,
much
you
from the
require
outset of this
40.
game, has got an opportunity here. A double 10 to win it, and win it he
Headshot
will.
and the match,
It's a first
Kelvin
victory
O'Keefe.
on the Super Series stage, and Kelvin O'Keefe, he gets the better of John O'Shea by 4 legs to 3. Statistically, this is how the game looks. We're off for a break, and it's Brandon Weening up against Danny Van Trijp on the other side of it.
$54. Charlie McGuirk, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts, but he'll be coming back.
The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie,
approaching the
require
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that
Charlie,
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie,
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's giving George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go!
Couldn't get the job
Yes!
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Before the break, Kelvin O'Keefe got the better of John O'Shea by 4 legs to 3. Next up for us, it is a meeting between Danny Van Trijp and Brandon Weening. For Brandon, he can move on to 6 points. A win here was a victory for Danny Van Trijp. Could see him go to the top of this Group B table and would set Danny up quite nicely ahead of a match against Kelvin
First
O'Keefe.
leg,
There's
it's Brandon to throw first.
a real distinct possibility
Game on.
here that Van Trijp could finish the night on 6 points. But this is a big match for Brandon. If he wins this one, he can happily say job done, can't he, at this point? And then the next match almost has a bit of an element of free hit. He'll finish
6.
the night against Shane McGuirk in game 10.
Well, part of you wants to say yes, and the other says no, because if he was to not beat Shane McGuirk, and then the same in the reverse fixture tomorrow, we know that Shane McGuirk's already got the beating of him in the big game on the World Championship stage at Lakeside. So it could be a dangerous ploy.
100.
Sometimes when you play the best player in the group last, it can be a bit of the poison chalice.
100.
He's had a couple of them tonight, hasn't he, Danny, where darts haven't laid ideally, but he's managed to find a way over the top. That bullseye earlier on was absolutely magnificent. But Weening here, 6 darts and 2-1 to take the opening leg. And he's going about his
139.
business beautifully, leaving himself on 62 after just a dozen darts.
99. Brandon, you require 62.
The Australian is looking for 62 to take out the opening leg. Double 16. Does not go.
46.
Van
Danny, you
Trijp
require
looking at 142.
142. $62. Brandon, you require 16.
So double 8 for leg 1 here for Brandon Weening. Double 4 now, double 2.
14.
Not to be, and so
you
Danny Van
require
Trijp here
80.
will come back for 80. And if this doesn't go, Weening's in a very precarious state here in the madhouse. but he's not going to get a look at it.
First leg, Danny Van
It's almost
Trijp.
as if the harder the lie, the more Danny Van Trijp executes, and now he's staring
Second
into the
leg,
barrel of the
it's Danny
camera.
to the row first. Game on.
There's clearly been some form of conversation going on in that back room, hasn't there, about this camera looking. Something that's developing here at Super Series across 2025.
Maybe they're practicing because they're taking my job.
60. $95.
Well, it's the fourth meeting between the pair this week. They did meet in Group A on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. The meetings are split 2-1 in the favour of Danny Van Trijp.
84.
A couple of 4-2 wins on Monday and Wednesday for the Dutchman, whilst Brandon won Tuesday's match between the pair 4-1.
58.
That was kind of the beginning of the plight of Van Trijp in Group A, as Richie Howson ran riot and won the group by a margin of 8 points. He's sat with his feet up. To be honest, he's probably in bed, isn't he, right now, being 10 past 12 at night.
140.
To look ahead to Saturday's action, he's the first player confirmed through.
100.
He thinks if Brandon Weening won this match, it'd be a good way towards doing that. But Van Trijp here, with that max, has left himself on 68 after 12. He got the break in the opener, and now he's looking to confirm his status of authority in this match.
97. Danny, you require 68.
2 darts, a double
Yeah,
16.
Sean,
That's a
second
14
leg,
darter.
Danny
That's
Van
2-0
Trijp.
Danny Van Trijp. And he really is hitting his straps now.
Third leg, it's Brandon to the row first. Game on. $30. $108.
Going through the gears.
He
Goes through the gears. Quite rapid here is Danny Van Trijp. There'll be lots of movement in the live in-play table, but as things stand, this would move Danny Van Trijp to the top, and you know there's a chance we could get decent crowd in here on Saturday night. We may see another one of those Danny Van Trijp walk-ons.
Yeah,
41.
the Dutch Open Championship, he had a very, very intriguing walk-on track. He's got the moves as well as Danny. Though admittedly, I can't really comment on dance moves.
97. $140.
Van Trijp past the score here, looking for a 3-0 lead.
$121. Danny, you require 140.
He's got 6 darts from here, may only need the 3. No, he's going to have the full quota, but he's playing beautifully
100.
here. Average around a ton, doubling at this present moment of time at 100%. He is in full flow, is Danny Van Trijp. And at this present moment in time, there is nothing Brandon Weening can do about it.
100. Danny, you require 40.
Haven't seen a 4-0 scoreline all evening.
Game shot on the
But Van
third
Trijp,
leg.
with his
Danny Van
second
Trijp.
consecutive 14-dart leg, has the darts to do exactly that. Not just would it be
Fourth leg.
an
it's Danny
opportunity
to
if he
the
won
row
this leg to
first.
put it to the top of the group.
Game
The
on.
legs difference would really grow for the towering Dutchman, but would also weaken Weening's
6.
position in that particular department.
$100. $100. 60.
Again, further more evidence there to your point about playing around darts.
One in for Brandon Weening. Two in.
140.
For this, for Van Trijp now, the opportunity to see the game home. 6 darts from 201 to complete a comprehensive win.
105.
96 left after 12. His last couple of legs was 1 in 14. He could complete with a hat-trick of 14 dart legs. This has been A-grade stuff from Danny Van Trijp. Average just under 99. Weening's averaging about 87, but that's been pretty much a scoring average in this match. Van Trijp to finish it off. Works her way around again. It's 8-8. It's magnificent. That is what Danny Van Trijp is all about. These two have become real good friends as well as adversaries this week. Danny's demolished Brandon, but there is a smile from the pair at the end. Well, that really was special. That is a 98.56 average for Danny Van Trijp. The doubling, awesome. 4 from 5. And he is now to the top of the group, is Van Trijp. We're off for break, and when we return, it is a battle of the Republic of Ireland as the former World Masters champ John O'Shea takes on the reigning Lakeside champion Shane McGuirk. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
What a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
Time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion Welcome back to the live lounge here in Portsmouth, the MODUS Super Series, and it is time for John O'Shea against Shane McGuirk. It is our 8th game of the evening session. We are free from home in this Group B night, and before the break, Danny Van Trijp beat Brandon Weening by 4 legs to 0, average of 98.5. Decent doubling, 4 from 5. And so it's now time for this all-Irish battle. For Shane, he kicked off with a 4-1 win against Kelvin O'Keefe, had a couple of ton-plus checkouts, then lost by that scoreline to Danny Van Trijp. For John O'Shea, he beat Danny by a 4-3 margin before then going out 4-2 to Brandon.
He was mightily disappointed though, wasn't he, walking off the stage, John O'Shea, after losing to Kelvin O'Keefe in the last game. Mismatched darts, a duo of 140s in that deciding leg, and then just sort of lost his way. It felt a bit desperate after he gained the advantage. And he's going to have to step it up here against Shane McGuirk. We haven't seen the best yet from Shane, but you feel there's a lot more still to come, and we've seen it from Shane McGuirk on occasion. Battle of two people who have picked up big titles on the WDF circuit.
And doing so at iconic venues. O'Shea won the World Masters, the last one under the BDO incarnation in 2019. That was held at the Circus Tavern. Beat Scott Waits in the final. Whilst, as we've been mentioning throughout the course of the evening, Shane McGuirk, the newly crowned WDF World Champion.
.45. Shane, you require 136.
McGuirk 136 and 6 darts from here to take out the opening leg.
96.
He's left himself tots after 12. This is a really good first leg from the reigning lakeside champ.
26. Shane, you require 40.
Well, that was a bit wild. That was a 4 right if you put it in golfing terms, but he's put it right there. The double 16 going with his last dart in hand. Shane McGuirk opens up a 1-0 lead.
Second leg, it's Shane to throw first. Game on. .59.
Shane did record a feature for us earlier on this evening, which you'll be able to watch on Pluto TV before too long. We'll tell you more about the listings of that when we do have confirmation of it. I thought it was a really good chat with Shane that we had earlier on this evening. Really open about his appraisal of his lakeside campaign and the reaction to his victory back home. Very level-headed with the success that he's had.
Well, I don't even think he realises he's had success yet from that interview where he had that extended sit-down with Shane. It's almost as if it's not quite sunk in yet for him, hasn't it?
140. .60. .47. .125.
Down the local, you'd call that pint for the chalk up, when both players are left on a level score.
Right, so Shane took the darts in the first leg and now beginning to make a move on the throw. He's left himself at a single to double to open up a 2-0 lead. O'Shea's night will come to an end at the close of this match.
56.
McGuirk is still to play Brandon Weening. And that could be a battle for two players to see whether they make it on to 6 points or not. Tops is found. It's 2-0 McGuirk. And he really is beginning to find a stride here. averaging 93.94. That's the equivalent
Third
to
leg, it's John to the
16 darts
first.
per leg.
Game on. $83. $59.
I feel this is quite vital, really, for John O'Shea. To end day one with just 2 points, it's not a complete disaster. He'd still have a decent chance of making the top 3,
59.
but ideally, when you look at the players above, and they've all still got games to go, you could end up being cut adrift here on the end of night one.
135.
Fair to say McGuirk is building into his night. It's been a long day for Shane. Flew in from Dublin Airport to Southampton Airport early this morning. Took the early flight over and then made the half an hour taxi journey to Portsmouth. Spent the afternoon just chilling out before then coming back for the evening session here at the Live Lounge.
96.
And O'Shea leaving himself on 166 means that McGuirk's got 6 here to get the double break. Well, that'll do for a setup.
33.
Yeah, using that luxury of time very well there, making full advantage of the setup shot.
55. Shane, you require 74.
To put himself a leg away and for a double breaker throw.
41 left as he just diverts below into the treble 11. We will sometimes see this from Shane. When something just goes a little bit awry, he'll step back, take a moment,
42.
and then recompose himself.
John, you
But he couldn't
require
fire home the double 16
111.
there. 17. Lee's tops. It's been a while since seen a ton plus check out.
91.
And we're not going to see the 111 there.
Shane, you require 32. Game shot on the third leg.
Takes the
Shane
double
McGuirk.
16. He takes the double break and he takes a 3-0 lead in this match.
It's been a bit drama-free, this one for Shane McGuirk,
Fourth
hasn't
leg,
it?
it's Shane to the row first.
Well, we can't say
Game
that
on.
about any part of his night so far this evening. It's been riddled with drama. But this one has been clear sailing so far.
82.
John O'Shea underperforming.
More drama than an episode of EastEnders at times tonight for Shane
100.
McGuirk.
John O'Shea was in this position earlier on in the night, wasn't he? And then just rattled off some legs super quick. And that's the danger. And that's what Shane McGuirk will be very well aware of, that any point John
121.
O'Shea can just find his quality.
$60. $99. $99.
Well, McGuirk here, 6 starts away from completing what has been a comprehensive display. His average in excess of 93. His doubling's been good at 50%. And he looks like he's now about to complete the finishing touches here
99.
against the Irishman. He's going to leave himself on a ton to win the battle between 2 players who have won big titles for their country.
100. Shane, you require 100.
The reigning Lakeside champion looks at a ton. Stayed for the treble. The live dart one was okay.
60.
Will return for
Shane, you
tops.
require 142.
John O'Shea dug out a 146 early when he needed it, but a
41.
look of resignation there
Shane,
in
you
the last
require
start.
40.
He feels that this game is about to be over.
Double 10. And it is game over.
shot and the match. Shane McGuirk.
Shane McGuirk picks the points up. He beats John O'Shea by 4 legs to 0. in the battle between two stars of the Republic of Ireland. In the group now is the reigning Lakeside champion, and he's very much pleased with his display. 89.73 the average, 4 for 9 his doubling stats. We're going to take a short advert break, and when we return, Danny Van Trijp will play his last match of the night. He takes on Kelvin O'Keefe in a few moments.
$54. Charlie McGuirk, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that
Charlie
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Get
Couldn't get the job
it!
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
MODUS
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where game 8 of our session. Oh, hello. Oh, hi, Danny. Hi, Kelvin. Hi, everyone. They're actually waving up at us. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Hi, everyone. I don't know what's going on here. It's been a long, long day here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Have they made a joke of us that we didn't actually know about, and we just managed to worm our way into it?
We're getting some love. We're getting some love.
Right, to the business, lads, to the business. As Tiesto would say, let's get down to business. Game 9 of our evening before the break, before we were rudely interrupted by these two giving us all the love in the world. Thank you, lads. Shane McGuirk got the better of John O'Shea by 4 legs to 0. Well, it's been a strange night, hasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, that's never happened before. Yeah.
Turns out that the Henry Deacon fan club has 2 people. And of course it is Valentine's Day, so I suppose it is the day that you do show...
100.
your more loving and caring side?
$50.
I actually bought myself a Valentine's Day card this year.
That means you're getting 2 this year then, does it?
$60.
Or has your mum stopped sending it now?
Shall we talk about this game? Because if Danny Van Trijp wins it, he moves on to 6 points in the group.
82.
Going into Friday's action here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And after what was a disappointing start to his
60.
evening, losing out 4-3 to John O'Shea, he could respond in perfect style here. For Kelvin, he's
35.
looking to, well, end his night with 2 wins from 2. He lost his first couple of games, but last time out he hit 4 180s en route to
45.
beating John O'Shea in a last leg decider 4-3.
$140. $100. $94. Danny, you require
Trijp looking at
136.
136 here to take out the opening leg on phone. Not to be now. Kelvin has found this evening.
100. Kelvin, you require 100.
Well, look at the treble here to leave. Well, he went tops. Now, I thought the live dart one was more inducive of
60.
the treble for
Danny,
double 10 there as
require
opposed to the
36.
tops. But Van Trijp, double 18 to take the opening leg. Now looking at double 9.
Game
Finds
shot
it
on the
top corner,
first
1-0
leg.
to the
Danny Van
Dutchman.
Trijp.
Getting on a bit of a roll now, isn't he, Danny Van Trijp? Was
Second
very
leg,
good
it's
in
Kelvin to the row
the
first.
last game.
Game on.
Just enjoying himself now, isn't he, Danny?
$60.
Certainly playing the game in a good spirit, isn't he, Danny Van Trijp?
Seems to be playing a lot better with it as well, doesn't he?
Maybe he's just the
81.
type that maybe, look, when he plays serious. Like there's no denying that. But maybe sometimes he's just got to play with that air of relaxation. And we see it with certain players. I mean, look at Wayne Mardle in his career. You know, the walk-ons and some of the stuff he did.
100.
That was his way of relieving the stress and the tension of big matches. I mean, he's the first to admit that he had anxiety when he played matches like that, and it was just his way of calming
100.
himself down. And look, it doesn't work for everyone, but if it works for Danny, it works for Danny.
Yeah, absolutely.
60.
You can't assign one player's attributes to another.
$60. $85.
Beautiful first start.
100.
But as we know, as soon as he blocks it, you know he's going to hit the treble with the last. So many times this evening, as he had a dodgy dart that he's managed to work her way around.
66. Danny, you
Could be
require
disappointed after the way
120.
dart one sat so plumly in the bed.
80. Kelvin, you require
somewhere leaving tops.
130.
O'Keefe may well be looking at the bull at the end of this. May want more than that now. The bullet is for one apiece. Just wide.
105. Danny, you require 40.
Tops are 2-0 in the favour of Danny Van Trijp.
Game shot on the second
Well,
leg.
both
Danny
of
Van
his darts
Trijp.
at double have found their way into a corner, and Kelvin O'Keefe is in a corner here now. He's
Third
been
leg,
cornered by
it's
the
Danny
Dutchman.
to
He's
the
2-0
reverse.
down. And
Game
Van
on.
Trijp, in the last couple of games, is just playing in cruise control. Hasn't dropped a leg.
100.
Wait, in fact, since losing his first game 4-3 to John O'Shea,
Check
he's dropped
85.
one leg since. Won 4-1 against McGuirk, won 4-0 against Weening, and 2-0 up here.
60. $100. 95. 60. 100. 100.
I've had Trijp here. 156 to move 3-0 to the good.
45. Danny, you require
And
156.
he's got 6 darts from here. This is probably what you'd probably call a professional display here from Danny Van Trijp.
You'll probably have good vibes about this because these two did
44.
meet on the Challenge Tour, didn't they? A couple of weeks ago, and Danny Van Trijp came out on top on that occasion.
$85. Danny, you require 112.
He's already had the 116. Is he going to add the 112 to the collection? Tops, and it's in the way. So you knew it was going to
Game's on
go,
the third
and it
leg.
does
Danny
go.
Van
And for
Trijp.
Danny Van Trijp, that's a second ton plus checkout of the night, and he is a leg away
Fourth leg.
from
It's Kelvin
completing
to the
back-to-back
first.
4-0 wins.
Game on.
Nice Trijp, Danny.
81.
Well, he's looking to step up here and step on to the top step in this group.
45. 100. 40. 26. 60. 60.
O'Keefe looking to get a foothold in his leg. Hasn't really had much to cheer about, has he, in this game?
140.
And 1 down and a double. That's been about all that Van Trijp has restricted him to.
It feels like a game that Van Trijp's controlled and dominated through great play, but when you look at the stats, he's averaging just 81.
Doing what he's needed to do at the important moments.
120. Kelvin, you require 94.
Still left himself on a 2-darter, but he could have left himself on a double there.
Yeah, it did look like it was going into 5 there for Van Trijp, which would have still been a 2-darter anyway, so nothing really lost or gained there.
26.
A chance here to
Danny,
get the
you
job done and
require
gain
96.
2 points on the scoreboard.
To put himself in a commanding position overnight. He's going to come back for tops. So
Kelvin, you require
Keith,
68.
to bring the score back to 3-1, is looking at 68.
36. Danny, you require
To end the
40.
night on 6 points. And Trijp wants tops.
$20. Calvin, you
Doesn't go.
require 32.
O'Keefe for route back in. Double
Game
16
shot of
foul,
fourth
back to
leg,
3-1.
Calvin O'Keefe.
Just the second leg since that game against O'Shea that Van Trijp has dropped tonight.
Fifth leg, it's Danny to throw first. Game on. $60. $60. $100. $60.
Filling it up.
108.
The first time in the game goes away Danny Van Trijp, and at a key moment as well. Opens up a sizable gap here on the scoreboard.
$140. Danny, you require
So Van Trijp for the match. Look at a 161. Doesn't have to go for it. Doesn't have to.
119.
And didn't.
It's a finish that's haunted him this week, isn't it? That 161. And that same thing, the end of the two trebles missing the ball.
But this some recovery after losing his first match, which remember he was
Danny,
2 legs
require
clearing.
42.
But he's cleared away the rest of the opposition. But he hasn't
26.
closed this match off
Calvin, you
as
require
of yet.
141.
O'Keefe is looking at 141. Danny Van Trijp.
Danny, you require
Double
16.
8 for the match, for the win, for 6 points overnight.
Game shot.
Well,
and
after
the match,
dropping his
Danny
opening
Van
match,
Trijp.
Danny Van Trijp has reeled off 3 wins on the spin. He is quite literally loved tonight. Thank you, Danny. Thank you very much. A 4-1 win for Danny Van Trijp. There's love in there as Valentine's Day begins here in the live lounge. I feel like a bromance is coming along here. Anyway, McGuirk Weening is coming next. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th MODUS Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new MODUS Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th MODUS Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 MODUS Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new MODUS Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McGuirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your MODUS Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler! Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break, I made a brand new friend. And Danny Van Trijp got the better of Kelvin O'Keefe by 4 legs to 1. Final game of the night sees Shane McGuirk and Brandon Weening go head to head. These two have been practicing together all evening long on stage prior to this match
First
getting
leg,
underway.
it's
But
Shane
now
Zero first.
they are adversaries on the stage. McGuirk with the throw in this final match wins this. 6 points overnight for him. But no matter what happens in this game, Danny Van Trijp will be top of the group because of his superior legs difference over Shane.
60. $97. $108.
Well, Weening gets the game's first max.
$93. $140.
This has been a good start for Brandon. 1-2-1 left after just 9 darts.
133. Brandon, you require 121.
Quality start from both, isn't it? Two players that have a little bit of history.
Game shot on the first leg.
Well,
Brandon Weening.
this is an exhibition of big finishing from Brandon Weening.
Second
That is
leg,
the
it's
5th ton
Brandon
plus
to the row
checkout
first.
he has hit tonight.
on.
It's a 12-darter to kickstart this game. He gets the break and leads 1-0. I'll tell you what,
140.
so far, so good this from the Australian. This is a big performance to end his night.
Well, ever since he lost to Shane McGuirk at Lakeside, he's probably been
137.
wanting this opportunity again to take him on in quite an important game. And I suppose he maybe thought this opportunity wouldn't have come.
140.
There must have also been a part of him thought, isn't it ironic? I get a go at this Super Series thing, and then when I get pitted in a group, I've got Shane McGuirk. Wonderful and weird how life
99.
works like that.
He'd have wanted that. He'd want this chance. He'd relish this opportunity to get one back against Shane McGuirk.
140.
And he's still in a very good position in regards to the league table. Win here would put him 4 points clear of the cut-off.
Puts him in a very good state of play. Well, what it does do is the winner of this meet, if they can win both of these
57. Brandon, you
ties,
require
they're pretty much
81.
close to being home and hosed where anybody else throws another dart. For McGuirk, started with a win, then lost, then won his next one. There could be a pattern beginning to emerge here.
49.
And Brandon Weening here is not letting up. Not in the slightest. Remember, he had this crazy performance against Richie Hauser where he lost with 104 average. But he's running close to these types of numbers again. If he takes his first dart, we're talking special stuff. 14 darts on the back of the 12. That means he is averaging 115.62, which equates to an average of 13 darts per leg. And Shane McGuirk's 105.13 is merely a scoring average.
$99.
Well, how many times does that happen? We put the average graphic on the screen and then somebody has a poor visit.
98.
It's like the third certainty in life. Death, taxes, and that happens.
100. $40.
I think this is... I don't know how easy or difficult a question this is, Matt. Who's been the best player of the night for you? Everyone's had a decent performance, but there's also been moments where players have maybe just been a little bit off the boil.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call.
100.
What I will say is I don't think anyone's going to be leaving here delighted with their performances tonight. I think everyone's going to feel like they've left a little bit out there.
Great dart. McGuirk tops after 12. He's raising kids level just to keep competitive with Brandon here. Oh, 140. This is quality, isn't it? They are both hitting each other with haymakers. 13 darter, top corner. McGuirk back to 2-1. And just when it looked like it was going to be a Brandon Weening onslaught, McGuirk has answered back with a 13 darter of his own. The average is after 3 legs. McGuirk 108.81. Brandon Weening 115.26. It's going to go down after that. But we did see in that Brandon Weening display that it was against the throw.
96.
Against Richie Hausen. He got to this level after 3 legs. He still averaged 104, but there was a dip towards the end. But if McGuirk can attain similar levels, he may still feel like there is a game here to win. But the problem is, Weening looks like he's not deviating one bit.
$60.
How much will there be? I know this is an isolation game in terms of a group.
140.
But how much motivation will be in the mind of Brandon Weening? Because the game McGuirk one was a big one, and that would have scarred and hurt him.
59.
Yeah, you never fully feel like you've got your own back on those sort of scenarios. He could win many more games, but until he wins one on a very similar stage,
42.
he's never going to feel content. And it's not just levelling the score, it's going better than. Shane McGuirk will live rent-free in his head for quite some time.
96. Brandon, you require 100.
Well, there's defeats, isn't there? And then there's World Championship defeats, which just get magnified on a completely different scale. Weening here looking at a World Championship winning shot. He's got 6 on the 138, and he's going to need that full quota.
$94. 85. Brandon, you require
Put himself a
44.
leg away from a very small slice of revenge.
Double 16.
Game shot
Puts
the fourth
Brandon
leg.
Weening
Brandon
3-1
Weening.
to the good in this match. If McGuirk's going to end on 6 points, he's going to have to overturn a 2-leg
Fifth
gap, a
leg,
2-leg
it's James
deficit,
to the
and we need each of the
reverse.
last 3 in this
Game
game.
on.
He won't be one that will face the camera. He's someone that is fully locked in and fully focused on everything he does.
41.
For him, everything is about due process. The kick towards the board, the stare down of the board, and when in the background, he will just look away and just wait for his opponent to finish up.
108.
When he starts up this leg with his third max of the contest, he's averaging 110.74.
60.
Oh, this is incredible.
140.
5 into the 9.
What a way to end the night here and end what has been a day
96.
full of darts. Game 25 could be coming to an end very, very soon.
Well, it's been a fun night of darts, and this has been a cracking way to end it. I certainly had plenty of fun in your company, and I'm sure we'll do it all again tomorrow. But Brandon Weening here looking to finish this match off, averaging 112.5, and could end it with an 11 darter.
100. Brandon, you require 60.
Well, this has been a special, special performance from Brandon Weening. He averaged 104 early on this week and lost. Now averaging in excess of 112 and has 2 darts at tops to beat Shane
20.
McGuirk. It doesn't go this time.
$134.
Well, this
Brandon,
to
you
put the cap
require 40.
on a nigh on immaculate display. Double top
Game
for the
shot
match,
and the
for the
match.
win. It's a 13
Brandon
darter and an average of 108.62 for Brandon Weening. That is his career best average. He broke it against Richie Howson in that 104 defeat. He has broken it again. The Python is reaching new heights, and he has beaten the reigning Lakeside champion Shane McGuirk. He moves on to 6 points alongside Danny van Trijp at the top of the group. It is the Dutchman that leads the way going into Friday's proceedings. And it's all eyes now on Saturday's final. And you can be here. Have a look at this. Well, it has been some night here at the MODUS Super Series, and we saved our very best till last, didn't we? Brandon Weening with an average of 108 to get the better of Shane McGuirk by 4 legs to 1. A dramatic evening in which Danny Van Trijp won 3 from 4. It could have been 4 from 4. He was 3-1 up in that opening match against John O'Shea. But after that, he dominated proceedings. This is how the table looks there following the first night's worth of play. Him and Brandon Weening, both on 6 points. The 2 players that dropped out of Group A are in a very good position. Shane McGuirk, the reigning Lakeside champion, is down on 4 points. John O'Shea and Kelvin O'Keefe, well, they have got it all to do when it comes to Friday's play. Danny Van Trijp is top of the group, and he joins myself and Matthew Edgar here in the studio. Danny, many congratulations. Really, really good night from yourself. What was the most pleasing part about your play this evening?
I lost my first game against Joe. I know I had to win that game. I missed 3 darts to win the game 4-1, 3 darts on double 4. And after that, I was like, if I win the 3 games after that, I probably should be fine, but I wanted 4-1, 4-0, 4-1. So it's also good for my for my legs. And yeah, I'm happy with my performance today.
And it felt like after that first game, there was such an element of calm and control about the way you went about your darts. In terms of when you were playing, when you were at the hockey, you just looked so calm and composed.
Yeah, I was when I played my first game on a Monday, I was calm the whole time. I never been nervous or something. I feel comfortable on the stage. I like to be on the stage. You should know about it.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, I know, but I really liked it on the stage. And I lost the first one against John, and I think John is a really good player. And I thought like it's the only game he won was against me. So I was like, okay. I didn't expect Jean to lose 3 more games after me.
In terms of the way Danny played this evening, we were heaping your praises in the commentary box all night long. It just looked like a professional job, probably the best way of describing it.
I think Danny described it very well when he looked at the table and he mentioned about the leg difference as well. Like since that defeat, it was strong wins. And when you dig deeper into the table and you look a little bit further, yes, you've got those points on the board already, but then you look into that second deciding factor, that the person in 4th place on -6 legs. That is a big difference when you look at Danny sat on +9 at the top of the table. This may come down to legs difference because this is a group where they're all beating each other. And if it does come down to legs difference, the damage could be done tonight.
And the thing with Group B in comparison to the other groups, it's almost a group within a group in the sense of, yes, of course, points is the primary factor, but how many times have we been sat in these seats and we've spoken about a player dominating games, winning 4-0, 4-1, being on the same points as somebody else who may have scraped through, and that being the decisive factor in proceedings?
Yeah, it happens so often, and that's why my attention runs to that on the end of night 1. And then when you look at that and you think, well, they're just outside the qualification places, they're on heavy minus. So they've got work to do just to get back on an even keel tomorrow, which means somewhere along the line, a player like John O'Shea is probably going to need to find a 4-0, 4-1 somewhere. And with the players we've got in this Group B, that's not a very easy task to do.
And there was, I suppose, a complete facet about your game. And one thing that we also picked up in commentary was the way you were able to work around darts, which looked a little bit blocked in the bed. So you had the 25 on bullseye, which the camera angle that we got when the bullseye went in, it looked completely blocked. Did that look that way from your perspective? We're going to have a look at it just down on that monitor there. So the single one goes in, the 25 just below. How much could you see of that?
Nothing. I went to the white. And it goes in. And I had the same in the match against, I don't know who, but I was at, what was it? I was on a finish, and I threw my last,
20, wasn't it?
115,
yes.
I think.
Yeah.
It could be 115. And my first dart went in the single bull, and my third dart goes in the double bull. And I was, if you go to the left or right, I had the feeling it goes in. So, I don't know. If I go to another treble or single or double, my feeling was go to the bull, and it went in. And the second time it also went in. So my feeling, I felt good about it. So why not?
There's a real astuteness about the way Danny goes about his business, isn't there? You don't know what the word astute is, do you? Well, there's no point asking that question. Okay, I'll rephrase it. Smart. There's a lot of smartness that goes into it, which is otherwise known as astute.
Astute, yes, they're very astute, yeah. So, yeah, if Richie Howson would have thrown that dart at the 25, going for the bullseye, we'd say, what a great dart, what a great marker. It depends how your darts behave, and it depends how they land in the board, and when they're kicking up, you've got to work around them. That's why you had to move over to the right-hand side. And that, again, is just understanding how to work with the equipment and work with the blockers. If you can use that, if you can use those markers, great. I always use the analogy of netball and basketball. A netball hoop's much harder to shoot into. A basketball's much easier because you've got the backboard. So if you can use the marker board and use it as that backboard in a basketball hoop, it's a big advantage.
I mean, there was a lot of space. If you go to the left or right, there was a lot of space to throw the bullseye. And I'm on I don't know what my opponent was. I was at 76. What was my opponent at? The finish? It doesn't matter. I was at 76. I threw one single ball. I had to go for the bullseye. I could go either to the left, I can go to the right. I needed that bullseye, so I go for it. I have a lot of space to go to the left or right. So and I throw it, then I was happy.
Very astute.
We'll have another chat in just a second, Danny. There's plenty else that me and Matt are going to round up about this evening. Brandon Weening's also on 6 points. Saved his best display up until last. But prior to that point, was playing at a real steady level, wasn't he?
That's Brandon Weening in a nutshell. I think we picked up on it a few times where he's sort of gone 2-0 up and then let it slip. He comes to the board, 3 darts in hand to go 3-0 up, misses it, and then gets drawn into battle again. Didn't do that there. He actually just kicked on in that last game against Shane McGuirk, and I think had the bit between his teeth there a little bit. It was one of those sort of games where that win, you could tell, meant a lot to him. That was the sort of game where he really wanted to get that win. That comes down to what happened at Lakeside when Shane McGuirk took him out of that World Championship when he's travelled over here for that event. Probably never thought he would get that opportunity to be on the stage with Shane McGuirk, and certainly on this trip, maybe in a future trip or a future event, but to have the opportunity to get a little slice of revenge back. Now, what would really be good for him is to get it again, or to get it on Saturday. That's when maybe he'll feel a bit justified in that win.
Are there just certain games that, as a player, that just mean more? And that was just one of them for Brandon.
1,000,000%. I can draw on an experience from this. 2013, I played in the UK Open. Played Robert Thornton. Robert Thornton was the defending champion. I was 7-5 up and lost the game. At the time, he was in the Premier League. He was the front cover of the programme in that event. And I kept that in the suitcase the whole time. And every time I opened the suitcase, I saw Robert Thornton stood there with that trophy. And I just always, every time I played him, I wanted to beat him. And I'd never let it drop. And you know what? It's 2025. And if I played him now, I'd probably still have that same sort of feel. Because when you lose a big game like that, it never gets away from you. And you can see what Brandon Weening brought out. It brought the best in him. And it does when you have that painful defeat.
Well, it certainly did. 108 average in that game against Shane McGuirk, for whom he finishes up on 4 points. How's he going to reflect upon tonight?
I think he'll be disappointed with the return, but I think he'll be happy in the fact that Shane McGuirk's been nowhere near the level we saw at Lakeside. He's been nowhere near the level we know he's got in the locker. However, he's still in the running here. If you turn up and you walk away and go, I was poor tonight, which is what Shane will reflect that. He wasn't poor. He was decent at times. But he's going to walk away tonight and say he was poor. If you can walk away and say that, but yet you're still in the running, you're still in a qualifying position, you're still in third, you haven't damaged your prospects, that's a good position to be in when you know there's so much more to come in the future.
And just a quick word on the bottom two on 2 points.
Work to do. We know John O'Shea's got the capabilities, we know what he's got the class of, former tour card holder himself. He's been off the tour now for a couple of years, tried to get it back at Q School, didn't quite work out for him. He's got work to do, we know he can. Kelvin O'Keefe is still sort of an unknown quantity to us. We saw some flashes and some moments. How will he fare now he's had a day? But I wouldn't be surprised if the top 3 stay the same.
Right, Danny, we need to have a word about what happened before that final match of the evening. There was a bit of love in the air, wasn't there? Just have a look at this down here. So we're coming out from our... This was all live, coming out from the advert break. Waving up to us We respond back. We were. We had no idea that that was about to happen. And then we cut back to you, and then there's a bit of love in the air.
Yeah, you want a quick evening session, so I tried my best. I played my first game 4-3, but the rest was 4-1, 4-0, 4-1. So I did my best for you. It's a long day for you.
See?
So I did it all for Henry.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Oh, did you been here in the
I've
morning?
been here all day as well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks.
I did it also for Matthew.
Well, the good thing is, thanks to that, you've allowed us to have an extra couple of hours sleep ahead of tomorrow's marathon session here at the Live Lounge. But again, at the end of the match, you decided to give us a little bit more love.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though.
You did the same to me, but they didn't show it.
To be fair, off camera, once we went off air, we did. This has kind of been the story of the week, hasn't it? A little bit of the camera stuff and a bit of that. It's been a really good practice room, hasn't it?
Yeah, I really like the cameras. I like to be on stage, and I had a tour card for 2 years, and they were difficult years. When I played my best year was in 2022. I played for the national team for the Netherlands. I played Challenge Tour. I played Pro Tour. I can throw everything that I want. And when you get a tour card, you can only play the Pro Tour. And I think my average or level is going down in the last 2 years. And now I like to play. I like to play on the stage. I really like how we're playing now.
Danny, I'm so sorry. I've got to let you go.
Oh.
We're actually out of time. Thank you so much for your
Okay.
company. Matt, thank you for your company. We're going to be back at 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll see you tomorrow for that, for Group C. Danny Van Trijp is top of Group B. Bye from us.
What a finish. What a man.
The drum roll finishes, and the target is...
And that was it.